The air crackles with whispers, doesn't it? The kind that slither through the internet's underbelly, fueled by anonymous sources and grainy screenshots. This time, those whispers are coalescing into a roar, a chorus of disbelief and morbid fascination directed at one of the most untouchable figures in modern music, Beyonce. The narrative, once confined to the fringes of conspiracy forums, is now exploding into the mainstream thanks to an unlikely source, her own sister, Solange. For years, we've seen Beyonce as the ultimate icon of female empowerment, the queen bee of pop, the meticulously crafted image of perfection. But beneath the shimmering surface of sold-out stadiums and flawless performances, a darker story is allegedly unfolding. A story of witchcraft, demonic pacts, and a ruthless ambition that allegedly leaves a trail of broken lives in its wake. It began, as these things often do, with subtle cracks in the carefully constructed facade. A missing name in an acceptance speech, a cryptic Instagram post, a lawsuit filed by a disgruntled former employee. Each incident, seemingly insignificant on its own, started to paint a picture of something far more sinister. Kimberly Thompson, Beyonce's former drummer, was one of the first to publicly allege dark practices. Imagine the scene. Backstage at a world tour, the energy thrumming with anticipation, the air thick with the scent of hairspray and ambition. But according to Thompson, lurking in the shadows was something far more unsettling. Demonic activities, rituals, a pervasive sense of unease that ultimately drove her to quit. And then came the threats, the harassment, the chilling detail of her cat's demise, allegedly used in a ritual. The restraining order she sought, a desperate attempt to shield herself from a force she couldn't comprehend, was largely dismissed by the public as the rantings of a disgruntled employee. Then there's Kata Cherie, a former dancer who has made truly shocking accusations. Kidnapping, assault, and a chillingly calculated attempt to punish her for leaving Beyonce's orbit. Kata claims to have receipts, a dangerous assertion that could either expose a horrifying truth or unravel into a spectacular act of delusion. The internet, of course, is already ablaze with theories, dissecting every detail of Kata's claims, searching for inconsistencies, and demanding proof. But the most damning indictment, the one that has truly shaken the Bayhive, comes from within the family itself. Solange, the fiercely independent artist who has always carved her own path, is now allegedly distancing herself from her sister, reportedly horrified by the depths of Beyonce's alleged involvement in the occult. The whispers suggest that Solange's own dabbling in witchcraft, a practice she may view as a form of spiritual protection and empowerment, is fundamentally different from Beyonce's alleged practices. Solange's accidental Instagram post, revealing what appeared to be an altar adorned with candles and ritual objects, offered a glimpse into her spiritual world, a world that, according to sources, is now in direct conflict with her sisters. The question that hangs heavy in the air is this: has Beyonce crossed a line? Has her pursuit of fame and power led her down a path that even her own sister finds abhorrent? And what does it all mean for the image of the woman we thought we knew? The carefully constructed narrative of Beyonce, the self-made icon, is crumbling, revealing a potential darkness that is both terrifying and undeniably captivating. Then there's the question of Sasha Fierce. Remember her? The alter ego that supposedly unleashed Beyonce's stage presence, transforming her from a shy girl into a force of nature. Beyonce herself described it as a possession, a moment where something else entirely took over. But what if Sasha Fierce wasn't just a persona? What if it was, as some now suggest, a conduit, a carefully crafted invitation for a demonic entity to inhabit her body? The implications are staggering. Every electrifying performance, every record-breaking achievement, every carefully curated image could be tainted by this alleged connection to the occult. It forces us to re-examine everything we thought we knew about Beyonce's rise to power. Was it talent and hard work, or something far more sinister at play? And what about the Bayhive? The fiercely loyal fan base that hangs on her every word, every note, every carefully posed photograph? Are they simply devoted fans? Or are they unwitting participants in something larger, something darker? Prophetess Tiffany Montgomery's accusations are chilling. The Beehive as a coven, a collective of devotees unknowingly contributing to Beyonce's alleged witchcraft. It's a disturbing thought, the idea that millions of people could be unknowingly entangled in a web of demonic influence. The internet, of course, has exploded with theories. Some point to Beyonce's lyrics, dissecting them for hidden meanings and occult symbolism. Others analyze her music videos, searching for subliminal messages and ritualistic imagery. Every detail, no matter how small, is scrutinized, dissected, and reinterpreted through the lens of witchcraft. Then there's the connection to African spirituality. Beyoncé has often spoken of her connection to Oshun, a Yoruba deity associated with love, beauty, and sensuality. But some claim that this is merely a smokescreen, a way to mask her true allegiance to darker, more malevolent forces. Is she genuinely honoring her ancestral roots, or is she using them as a cover for something far more sinister? The truth, as always, is elusive. It's buried beneath layers of carefully crafted PR, conflicting accounts, and the inherent ambiguity of spiritual practices. But the sheer volume of allegations, the consistency of the themes, and the willingness of people within Beyoncé's inner circle to speak out suggest that there may be something to this story. Whether Beyoncé is a victim of malicious rumors, a misunderstood spiritual seeker, or a cunning practitioner of dark magic remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, the narrative has shifted. The image of Beyoncé, the untouchable icon, has been irrevocably tarnished, and the whispers, once confined to the shadows, are now echoing through the halls of power, demanding to be heard. The world is watching, waiting to see if the queen will be dethroned, or if she will rise above the allegations and reclaim her crown. But can that image ever really be restored after this? Kimberly Thompson's restraining order request. It's easy to write it off as the desperate act of someone scorned, but consider the details. Dark magic, financial sabotage, a campaign to blacklist her from the industry. These aren't the typical grievances of a disgruntled employee. They're accusations of a far more insidious nature, painting a picture of a powerful figure wielding her influence to silence and destroy anyone who threatens her. And the courts? They seem hesitant to touch it, another indicator of the kind of power we're talking about here. Then there's the undeniable pattern. It's not just one person making these claims, it's a chorus of voices, each with their own chilling tale of betrayal, manipulation, and alleged demonic influence. Kata Cherie, Kimberly Thompson, and now potentially Solange. 3 women, all with close ties to Beyoncé, all alleging similar patterns of behavior. At what point do we stop dismissing them as crazy and start considering the possibility that they're telling the truth? The stakes are high not just for Beyoncé, but for the entire entertainment industry. If these allegations are true, it exposes a dark underbelly of power, where success is achieved not through talent and hard work, but through manipulation, coercion, and potentially demonic pacts. It forces us to question the very nature of fame and the price that some are willing to pay to achieve it. And let's not forget the victims, the allegedly blacklisted musicians, the harassed dancers, the unalived pets. These are real people with real lives who have allegedly been caught in the crossfire of Beyoncé's ambition. Their stories deserve to be heard. Their pain deserves to be acknowledged, regardless of whether or not Beyoncé is ultimately found guilty. The silence from Beyoncé's camp is deafening. A simple denial would suffice, an explanation for the alleged altar, a refutation of the claims made by Thompson and Cherie. But instead, there's only silence, a calculated strategy of deflection that only fuels the speculation. It's a tactic that has worked for years, allowing Beyoncé to maintain her carefully crafted image. But in the age of social media, Silence can be just as damning as an admission of guilt. What does African spirituality really mean in this context? Is it a genuine expression of faith, a connection to ancestral roots, or a convenient smokescreen for something far more sinister? The line between spirituality and witchcraft is often blurred, and it's easy to misinterpret practices that are unfamiliar or misunderstood. But when those practices are allegedly used to harm others, to manipulate and control, they cross a line into something far more dangerous. And Solange, her silence speaks volumes. The fiercely independent artist has always been fiercely protective of her sister, but her alleged distancing suggests a deep sense of unease, a moral conflict that she can no longer ignore. If Solange, the ultimate ride-or-die sister, is questioning Beyonce's actions, then it's time for the rest of us to do the same. The internet may thrive on gossip and speculation, but it also has a remarkable ability to uncover the truth. The allegations against Beyonce may be dismissed as conspiracy theories, but they're also a reflection of a growing distrust of power, a willingness to question the narratives that are presented to us, and a demand for accountability from those who wield influence. The beehive may be buzzing with outrage, but the queen may soon find that her reign is coming to an end. Or not. Perhaps she'll weather this storm, emerge stronger than ever, and continue to reign supreme. But even if she does, the whispers will remain, a constant reminder of the darkness that allegedly lurks beneath the surface.